What is anticipatory grief? And can you possibly turn it into something positive? Well, I'm going to cover that in today's video. Hi there, I'm Sofia, and I'm bringing you new videos every Tuesday so that you can be a more successful, more satisfied, and more informed family caregiver. If you're caring for a parent or a loved one who might be suffering from cancer or Alzheimer's disease, or who is just deteriorating because of old age, then you might be suffering because you have to watch them lose their function, abilities, and capabilities. It's really hard to watch. It's sad and it's overwhelming. And if it causes you chaos in your mind and in your heart, then you could be experiencing anticipatory grief. Anticipatory grief is all about the emotional responses that you have when you're facing the impending death of a loved one. That anticipated loss might be coming soon, or it might be years from now, or you might have absolutely no idea when it's going to come. It puts you in an in-between place of holding on and letting go. The term anticipatory grief insinuates that these emotional responses are always negative. Now, I definitely don't want to dismiss the incredible grief that goes along with slowly losing a loved one. It's absolutely necessary and it's a normal part of the process. But what I want to focus on today is the fact that if you pay attention, you can focus on some of the more positive emotional reactions that might occur and do things to increase these positive emotions for both you and your loved one. But before you can start, there is a need to acknowledge that your loved one is moving towards the end of their life at some point in the future. If this is not acknowledged, then it might be more difficult to bring on some of the more positive emotions and experiences during this important time. I'm going to call these positive emotions anticipatory contentment. I'm going to talk about steps that you can take towards anticipatory contentment, and I'm saving the most important ones for last, so make sure you watch the video all the way through. The first step towards anticipatory contentment is to educate yourself about what to expect as your parent or loved one progresses. Learn all about their condition, the manifestations, the side effects, and what the prognosis is and what to expect as their condition progresses. I know it might be scary, but don't be afraid of this information. Accepting their situation doesn't mean that you love them any less. And talking about it won't make it happen any faster, I promise. But knowledge is power, and it'll make you feel more in control and not blindsided by things that should have been expected. The second thing that you should be focusing on during this time is making sure that you have the support that you need. This is a very hard time with a lot of different emotions and stressors. Sometimes this might go on for years. So not knowing when it's going to come is a stressor all in itself. Seek out support among your family, your friends, or support groups. You can find them in your community or even online. If you find that you're having strong emotions such as anger, depression, or anxiety, and they're getting in the way of your everyday life and getting in the way of your coping with the situation, then I highly recommend that you seek support or counseling to help you towards anticipatory contentment. The third thing that can help you during this time is to try to create some little magical moments that will help you convey your love and caring. I know it's easy to get caught up in the things that worry you and the day-to-day tasks that you have to do, but it's really important to find moments of joy with your loved ones. So, get outside into the garden, enjoy the sun and the birds. Create a special moment by singing or humming or reading to your loved one. Listen to music or look at old pictures and reminisce, or even just hold their hand while you talk to them or sit beside them and watch TV. The goal here is just to create little magical moments of connection. The fourth really important thing during this process is to say the things that need to be said. You have a great opportunity here for closure that other people who lose their loved ones suddenly, they just don't have. So there's 5 things that you can say that are going to help your loved one during the final stage of their life. Saying these things was also going to help you. So you should elaborate these as they fit your life and your story. I love you. I'm sorry. Thank you. I forgive you. Please forgive me. Saying these things is going to dramatically change the dynamic between you and your loved one, even if they don't understand your words or are going to forget them in 10 minutes. I believe truly that they will hear them with their soul, and your soul will feel it too. The fifth important step that's going to move you towards anticipatory contentment is to redefine your definition of hope. You've probably been thinking, I hope they get better, I hope they get stronger, I hope they overcome this, I hope they find a cure. I think that we've all been brainwashed to some extent into thinking that if we don't have hope, then we're not a good family member and that we must not really care about our loved one. But this type of hopes have an appropriate time and place, but maybe not now. Not when your parent or loved one has a chronic illness and they're near the end stages, and not when they have an acute illness on top of other chronic illnesses or conditions and they just don't have the strength to fully recover. Not when they're in their 80s or 90s and becoming weak and frail, because I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but there is no cure for old age. Now, before you chop my head off and yell, Sofia, how could you possibly tell me to give up hope? Just hear me out on this. If you are always in the mindset of hoping they get better and stronger or cured, you really might be setting yourself up for chronic disappointment. You might be angry all the time because your parent isn't trying hard enough to get up and walk around, or because they don't want to eat, when they really just can't do it. You might be running around from doctor to doctor trying to find another opinion, or mad at the doctor because they're not making your parent better. Always fighting. You're always stressed. This kind of hope is sucking up too much of your energy and your focus that can be used in so many other ways. Some people think that when they fight really hard, it means that they care that much more. But that is just not true. There is a point in everyone's life, including mine and including yours, when there's no longer a chance of regaining health and functioning. Accepting that does not mean that you care any less for your parent or loved one, and it can actually mean quite the opposite. Now, I'm not saying to give up hope altogether. I'm saying let's redefine it. What would it feel like for you if you had hopes like these instead? I hope they're comfortable. I hope I make them laugh or smile today. I hope they're pain-free. I hope they find peace. I hope they feel worthwhile today. I hope they feel loved today. How do you think your loved one would feel if this was the kind of hope that you had for them and that you acted on it to make it happen? This type of hope frees up your energy and spirit for so much more beautiful and important things at this stage of your loved one's life. So I hope that you take some of these steps towards anticipatory contentment. And if you have any questions or comments about this, then feel free to leave them below. Here are a couple of more of my videos that I think that you're going to find helpful in your caregiving journey. If this video was helpful, then please hit the like button, and if you don't want to miss any new videos on everything senior related, then please go ahead and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.